also going to be talking a little bit about the Miami Dolphins, because the Dolphins, who knows what this team is going to put on the field this year. That's a lot of people are kind of wondering out there. To answer some of those questions, we had him on just a couple weeks ago, but we welcome back into the show right now Brian Miller of PhinPhanatic.com. I was going to say, talk about Chad Henne a little bit more, because I'm interested to hear what you have to say regarding him, because here's a player that definitely thinks he should be the starter. I don't think there's a question about that. He's, like you said, last 2 years he has struggled mightily, but he has had a couple flashes. Now, you mentioned this so far, what he's been able to accomplish in the preseason, but again, we have to go back and say this is preseason. Do you think he will carry this over a little bit more, or no?
Yes, I do, and I'll tell you what, a lot of people will say it's a preseason game, but you have to look at where he's improved at. Mm-hmm. We're talking touch passes. We're talking about getting the ball, making his reads quick, not just going to the dump-off pass or taking a few risks, playing with some energy and actually leading the team, something that he hasn't done in those 2 years. And I'm going to mention his name, Dan Henning. This year, when you look at Chad Henne, if he succeeds or even if he fails, you can go back and look at Dan Henning as being possibly the reason why his play the last 2 seasons has been so bad. He was handcuffed. Brian Daboll is not keeping him reined in. They are letting him go out there and play football. They are letting him take control of that offense. This past Sunday or Saturday night, for the first time, I saw him being a field general. I saw him audibling at the line of scrimmage, calling out blocking assignments. He hasn't done that in 2 years in the regular season, and I do think that is the big difference this year, is that we have an offensive coordinator that is going to allow him to play. Now it is up to him to succeed.
All right, talk about the kind of leash he's on. I mean, is he on a long one, or are they saying, you know what, still, we know what you've done in the past. If it continues, we're done with you. What kind of leash is he on?
Yeah, he's not. I honestly don't think he's on a leash this year. I think this is going to come down to this. If Chad Henne goes out and plays, they are giving him every opportunity to succeed, unlike years past where they did, in fact, keep him on a short leash. If he goes out and he fails, they will make the switch to Matt Moore. But they are not saying, hey, watch over your shoulder. They're saying go out and play football, go out and win us some football games, and we'll deal with the inevitable if we have to. So I really think we're going to see a different Chad Henne out there, at least in the way he approaches his gameplay and how he approaches to win a game. No longer am I seeing this team as an offensive in the overall picture of the offense. They're not going out there to play not to lose. They're going out there to play to score points, and I think that's the big difference. So when you talk about a leash on Chad Henne, I don't think there is one. I think they're going to let him play football, and if he does not improve and he cannot make this team win, then yes, they'll make a change down the road, but it's not going to be something that's going to be held over his head.